Drinking my tea. Okay, hopefully it's starting. Cool. It looks like I am back, and I'm going to operate on that assumption. There's just a little bit left. Just 1 second. Hmm. It's best to drink it while it's still hot. Okay. Cool. So hey everybody, I'm Joshua. Today is what, April 30th, 2017, and today I'm working on my video game Delver, which you can see the website behind me. Delver is a procedurally generated dungeon crawler with fantasy roguelike and first-person shooter elements. Um, so yeah, we are on early access on Steam. You can find the link here. We're $7.99. We also have a Humble link, same price point, and you also get a Steam key if you prefer Humble. The Humble build is a bit behind the Steam build. So if you want the more recent updates, Steam is the way to go. Let me think. The team that works on Delver, there are two of us. I am the art guy. I do 2D, 3D art. I do level design. I do some programming. We wear a lot of hats because we are a small team. We work on this in our free time. So the other developer, Chad, has a day job, and um, I'm currently doing contract work. So Delver still falls into the side projects for me. I think when my contract work ends here, until I find more contract work, I'll probably do more work on Delver full time. So you might see more streams coming from me, or at least bonus streams again, kind of depending upon how things shake out. Let me see. Hey, chat. Hey, everybody who is here and chatting away. We had a nice pre-stream pizza talk. Um, so yeah, I try to get a little pre-roll going 15 minutes before the stream. So that's why I usually start my streams with me waiting for it to come back because I stop it and I bring it back because I can't be bothered to just leave it on the front. I want a nice clean break because I do archive my videos on YouTube. If you look below or wherever the info button is on Twitch, there should be a link to my YouTube. And if you're watching on YouTube, hey YouTuber, yeah, I archive all of these out on YouTube, and I've been doing this since last July, so there are quite a few out there. So you can kind of watch the arc of development, which is kind of cool. Let me see. Oh, okay, cool, nice. Yeah, thank you for supporting me. Okay, let's see. Let me close that. Let me, nope, not resumes. Boring. Cool. So these are some stuff I need to, because I've been working on splitting out the textures, and I guess I should just go ahead and commit my changes now because um, I've been working on this for a few weeks now. So I just need to go ahead and commit this so at least there's some progress in the repo and I don't lose it. Let me see. Let's also take a look at what Chad has been up to because I think he's checked in a few changes. So let me just pull in my Git log here. Also, maybe move this over here so you can actually see it, because that's kind of the point. I'm just doing a git log one line since a week ago, and then a pretty format. Yeah, so um, I am not hiding stuff. Those are resumes probably ever since I started writing resumes, so they might go all the way back to university. Let me see. Remove enchantments on armor break. Yeah, these are bug fixing I did last stream, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so this is just kind of showing up how enchantments work on armor. And then it looks like, so Chad is working on implementing location warping. This is also changing the way our save system works. Um, So right now, I think right now it is just a simple load up a static level and then come back out of it. I think that's all you can do. I can preview that here in a second. Um, I haven't, and then yeah, it looks like they also merged in the Overworld Mark II, so I can also preview the Overworld Mark II stuff out and see how that's going. And then some secret stuff to camp. Winky face. So the Noob Life says, what game editor do you use? So we wrote our own engine. It sits upon, actually, let me just play a little bit of Delver. I can talk about that for folks who are new to Delver. So it is it's an engine we wrote ourselves. It is written in Java. It is built upon libgdx, which is a framework that sits on top of LWJGL, which wraps the OpenGL library. Okay. The engine is specifically written for Delver, so we just call it the Delver engine. There's no real engine name per se. But yeah, this is the start area. It's a little camp. There are people here. You can buy stuff from these folks if you have enough gold. Since this is a new save slot, you only have 40 gold. The gold you accrue with your life, and when you die, you keep it, so you can potentially get a little bit of a boost. There is work to be done on this to make it feel a little bit better, because it's still kind of an early attempt at that. This is the secret thing where you can pop behind the waterfall. It loads up a little level back here, and then you can pop back out. But mostly just a test. Let me see. We do have breakables in Delver. If something is breakable, it will generally wiggle or move a little bit when you hit it. If it doesn't, it's solid. Let me swap out my pants. There we go. The crates have a typically low chance of dropping, and they degrade your item's durability, so again, break these at your own peril. It's a cheese, yeah. Grab that potion, why not? Oh, got a baddie. There we go. And a scroll of Discern Reality. Which for those of you who haven't figured it out yet, Discern Reality is just the auto map. Go. What do I want? Defense is fine. Got a zombie sneaking up on me. So part of the work I'm doing now for this for update 15, which is scheduled to be coming out in June. Hopefully we can make that land. It always seems like these milestones are tight, but so the June update is me redoing a large chunk of the dungeon, this area content, because this was the first area created. It also kind of looks the worst because we've spent years making this game, and we've gotten better at making levels, and better at making art for the levels and stuff like that. So my current work is to update not only the level itself and how it looks and how it's designed, but also the practices behind it. So I'm splitting out all the textures into appropriate texture sheets and all that good stuff. Fine skull cap. Let's put that on.
Over here.
Yes, a twofer. Nice. Oh crap. Oh no. Oh no. I have no idea where the other guy went. He was back here, wasn't he? He got hurt. Help. Worn Iron Dagger of Pet. I believe, for better or for worse, Heft makes items move really like crazy fast, which I'm not sure if that was the intention, but it is kind of hilarious that that is what it is right now. Ooh, arrows. Those can be useful. I need to find a bow now to make use of my arrows. Let's see what else. Let's take a look at chat. So we've been working on this project. I've been on it about 4 years now. Chad's been working on it about a year longer, so 5 years. We do this in our free time, mostly evenings and weekends. You know, so naturally, as real life kind of interrupts, you know, we have to adjust like how quickly we develop things. Let's see. Yeah, I'm very excited for the rework. I think like I've learned so much making Delver over these years that ooh, nice. Got me a nice unique drop there. That you know, like I could definitely make this area play much better because a lot of this, if you look, is just this kind of room corridor design, and that's kind of what Delver does. But I think the room corridor design is boring, and there are ways to kind of spice it up and bake it. And I think that's a bat on fire, but I'm not sure what's going on there. More arrows, but no bow and no ladder down. Let me see. Hey, Javier. Yeah, no, Heft definitely does imply being slow, but that's not necessarily what it does. Dusk and Dawn are the best weapons you can get. Interesting. Yeah, I tried to make them good, but not like game breaking. So Dusk and Dawn are two new unique items that I added in the last update. I kind of added some because we have a unique system, I think, as of last update, or yeah, so that was new last update, and we only had one unique item in there, so I added a few uniques in there just to have some variety. But it's like I don't want them to be game breaking, but I want them to be a cool thing. The nice thing about uniques too is their stats are scaled depending upon what level the player character is when you find that item, if that makes sense. So hopefully, the thought behind that system is that the item is always relevant to you, no matter when you pick it up. And hopefully, it's not super overpowered. It should still be powerful. Yep, so we have little kind of Mad Lib style notes that get dropped around. Trying to find. When I find the exit here, I will start working. I think I'm close. I hope I'm close. My wand is useless right now, so I'll get rid of that. There's a mage there. Cheese, lots of cheese. Here we go. All right, and to the next level. And of course, so there are multiple levels as you work your way down, and they change in theme and color and style and all that good stuff. Let me see. Cool. Let me. So let's kind of go back to what I was working on with kind of splitting stuff out into sprite sheets and kind of having a nice, I guess, separation of content. Because right now, if you, a lot of this stuff just lives in one giant sprite sheet. And I'm slowly breaking that out. Yeah, so Axolotl, I don't know if you know this, but resist magic lets you swim in lava. Yep. So resist magic will make you immune to lava, magic damage, fire damage, any kind of non-physical damage. Resist magic will make you immune to. It is a short-term thing, but yeah, it will definitely do that. Yeah. So for the longest time, we just had this one giant texture sheet. Uh, which was okay when the game was small, but as we started adding new areas, like just keep making this longer and longer and tacking on new stuff on the end was like not a good solution. So when I created the cold area a while ago, we added, let me see, we started doing this pattern where we have a texture subfolder, and inside there we have one for each theme. So I created a cave and a dungeon theme folder for those new areas, and then I'm creating the textures that should live there. So maybe I think a lot of today's work, maybe it will just be kind of sorting all of this stuff out, which might not be super sexy, but it is work that needs to be done. So hopefully that makes sense to folks. Also, it'll show you how to hook up some stuff from a modder's perspective, so that could be useful. Bluestone says, will that old sprite sheet be removed? Because I used some of the textures in the library. It probably will eventually be removed. Generally, my thought on it is I'll keep it there for the next update, and then the one after that, I'll probably remove it, just so save files and stuff like that aren't too wonky. We also probably should add some sort of guard to just drop in a GFX, like one of these broken GFX textures if we can't find the atlas or the texture. I know if we get a bad index, we give you that, but if the atlas is missing, then we crash, I think. Bluestone, go ahead and feel free to just create your own texture sheet from those textures. You can use those for modding purposes. Let me see. So will the texture painter also affect rock textures in the dungeon stage? So you have to set up texture painters. You can tell them which atlas to use, but yeah, they will. If I look at it, let me see. So let's look at Dungeoneer. Let me just close all these. Assets. Data. No, generator. Generator, and then we have like the dungeon, the section.dat. Is that where it lives, or is it info.dat? Yeah, so it looks like the info.dat is where the texture painters live. So the texture painters are an associative array indexed by the theme. So if you provide, the correct theme and then the mappings and indices, it'll work. So let's slowly just start working on getting all this stuff separated out. So I have, let's start with the dungeon. So the dungeon has the textures. It probably needs, so I think we also have like sprites. I think like it used to be like a shared and meshes and all that stuff. Like if I look at how, let's look at, so textures, and this is dungeon, and then on the right side, I'll put textures temple. So temple has a meshes, a particles, a sprites, temple meshes, and a textures. So that's kind of the kind of the layout. This is what it should look like. So textures, let's go up. Actually, so assets, I need to grab a copy of sprites. It might be harder to move particles because that stuff's hard coded, but I might have to dig into the code to see what that does. So let's go into textures, dungeon, sprites, and then now I need to look at my sprite sheets in data, sprite sheets, and there is sprites, cold sprite, sewer sprite, triple sprite. So I'll just copy this and I'll paste this, clean up my JSON, and this should be textures slash dungeon sprites.ping, and this is dungeon sprite. Okay. As a tip, real quick, let me also open up sprites and just put the missing GFX all over the place so I can see where it's being used and fix all that good stuff. Oh, come on, Photoshop. Okay, let's save that. So now when I launch desktop, I should get a whole bunch of GFX errors because basically everything is still pointing to the old sprite sheet. Yep, see all that stuff? Yeah. Let me see. Axel18 says there's support for side and back characters as sprites. No, there is not. Again, that is one of the limitations of the engine. So yeah, that broke a few things. Okay. Quit. Okay. Yeah. Huh. So now we need to start looking at where all these things are being used, and then actually sprites. What I can do, I could just repoint this one to the correct. I can also just point this one. I don't know, is it better to change everything or is it better just to redirect this one? Let me try. See how much work that would be. Sprite. Because I think that was from outdoor info.dat. Yeah, so all of this is a sprite. Yeah, sprite atlas. This should be dungeon underscore sprite. Make sure this is the correct. I always forget the sprite. Yep. I need a comma. That should be for the rocks. The index has not changed, so that's nice. Decorative grass. Again, lots of decorative grass. Okay, so that should fix the start area. Let's take a peek. So it fixed some, but not others. I must have missed one. Dex. Let me see. Actually, it could be the fact that they might actually just be baked into the level themselves. So if I open up that level, um, I bet you that's where I see the breaks. So start, load. Yeah, these are all ones I've placed myself. Pretty sure. Let me try this. So file, save as. Let's just save this as test underscore plain text dot dat. Save. So saving as a .dat file should save it as JSON. So let's go assets, levels, and it should be the start, plain text.dat. And then let's pop open, say Sublime Text. And let's drop that in there. And then let's look for, say, Control F, Sprite. Try dot sprite. I think they are looking at the. Let me undo this one real quick. It should be index 01, text 1. So let's just look for Control F, text. Text colon 1. And let's see, looks like, yep, that should be right. So if I hit Alt Enter, that should make a selection for all of them. And now I can do sprite, wait, back up, text 1, comma, sprite, atlas, dungeon underscore sprites. I think that's correct. Let me save it. Then let me open this up. File, open, levels, start, plain text, load. Uh-oh, did it fail? Error reading file. I broke something. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Z, Z. So text 1. Let me see. Alt F3 to select all, comma. Yeah, Sublime Text is chugging. Oh, I see what it's doing. Okay. So instead of that, I can look for, it looks like it serializes out the sprite atlas, so I can look for sprite atlas. Sprite. Okay. And Alt Enter should select all of those. And now Dungeon Sprite. Save. Yeah, having multiply defined properties might have been an issue. Hey, Michael. Nope. That also dead. So let me undo all my changes. Let's see if I can load it. File, open. Levels, plain text, load. Here we go. So then I should just be able to say Control F, sprite. Actually, let me let's do find replace. Find replace. Should be sprite atlas colon sprite. And replace with sprite atlas colon dungeon sprites. I think is that what I call it? Dungeon sprites, plural. Dungeon sprite, singular. Replace all. Save. File open. Nice. And that's correct. It looks like there's still a few things missing. Let me see. What's this one all about? Breakables, bush. Okay, yeah, so I need to update that. Cool. So let's go File, Save As. Go up a level, sorry, levels, and there should just be start.bin, save. And now I need to find out where the breakables, so breakables, bush. It's a breakable. Sprite Atlas, Dungeon, DUNGEON, Sprite. Save. And that should fix that because they're a prefab, which is nice. You can change with prefabs. You can change the prefab definition, and then everything gets it. Unlike the grass in the level I had, those are not prefabs. Those are just placed entities. So I had to go through and redo them or fix them manually. So there are our breakable bushes. Cool. Let's just kind of let's just do an audit of everything. Let's do Sprite atlas colon dot star sprite regex find. Oh, because I put the dot star in there. Yep. This one. Right, let's dungeon sprites. Sewer sprites are okay. Oh man, I bet you these have a lot of that junk baked in. Okay, so let me not worry about this so much, but let me yeah. Maybe going forward, it's just more important to maintain that. Let me just kind of audit the stuff in the generator for dungeon. Yeah. Yeah, so all of these here in the dungeon are going to need to be updated. So text. Let me just start at the top. Is that correct? Yep, they live there too. Okay. Sprite Atlas. This is dungeon sprites. So I think ultimately I'm going to just leave sprites.ping in where it is, and I won't have the GFX errors. This is just a temporary thing to help me kind of troubleshoot what is and what is not correctly set. I'm only going to really worry about setting the sprite atlas on the sprites that are part of the dungeon theme. Okay, this atlas should be, I think it's called dungeon. Let me see what this texture, assets, texture, nope, assets, data, wall textures, dungeon. So this is an exit down. It does texture 7 from the sprite atlas, dungeon sprites, and it needs to do it on the wall texture from dungeon. But I don't think I have an exit tile yet in my new texture set either, do I? Does temple? Temple does not either. Maybe for the time being, I'll just leave this alone because this is kind of a special case for the stairs. But I will still use the sprite coming out of the dungeon. Doors. This is curious. Oh, okay, I guess it doesn't really matter the text here because it's a mesh item, so it doesn't actually show it. Yep, for junk. Skulls. Do these still come from that? From sprites? Or I thought they came from. Yeah, I think these actually pull from. Junk pulls from items. Let's take a peek. Yeah, it's a decoration object. Yeah, it extends items, so yeah, it just uses the item texture sheet by default, which is okay. Don't need to change that. Bones, skull. Note is fine. Texture painters, I'm going to definitely need to update these. I'll just fix them while I'm in here. So right now I'll leave T1 as is, but I will add a second texture painter for the new dungeon textures. Dungeon. And typically I try to do something like textures, dungeon, textures. So I typically have the most used one here, and then you can alternatively pull from these. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3. So look at, not that, this one. Yeah, so we have 0, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. There should be 10 entries in here. Let me just copy that real quick. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so this is how I kind of do probabilities. So let's say this has like a 50% chance, and then like a just kind of diminishing from there, like 50, like 20, 20, 10, 30, 10, 10, 30, 15, 5. Since I'm working in 10, maybe so 50. That's it. I'd make that 10, 20, 20. That'd be fine. So the first 5, 3, 4, 5 need to be 0, and then 1, 1, 2, 2, 3. So this one has a 50% chance, 20, 20, and 10% chance of showing up. These are not done yet, but I'll do the same thing for them. Not quite sure what that one's about, but let me just go here. Okay, this should be texture 0, 4. So 4. Everybody's going to 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7. And then when I finally add those textures, it will go ahead. It actually goes go ahead and light them up. It'll use them anyways, even though they're not really drawn. It'll still swap them out. These are floor textures. So I want to go ahead and I guess do the same thing for that. So that's 8, 9, 10. So in my floor textures here, texture painters. Again, these are the old indices for the T1 texture sheet. So this needs to be, is that 8? Yeah, 8, 9, 10. And these are just, a lot of times these are just done by feel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 10, 9, 9, 9. Okay. That's cool. And I think that's a good start there, but these determine how the wall textures get swapped out. Yep, the chat is rightly pointing out that I had a typo here, which would have basically, it wouldn't have caused things to crash, but the texture painter just simply would not have painted the textures in that texture set. Cool, so I guess I have ceiling. Yeah, it's fine right now. I'll just leave it at the most boring ceiling painter, but there we go. Gen infos. Yeah, here we need to sprite atlas needs to be dungeon sprite. me see. These are critters. They do their own thing, so I don't have to worry about that. Hanging moss, definitely. Hanging crystal is a mesh. Hanging roots, definitely need to update the texture sheet on, or the sprite sheet on that. More hanging roots. Let me see. Why is it not called dungeon_sprites? Bluestone said, I don't think you read my question. So when I use meshes in my mod, should I use entities or prefabs to not get GFX errors in the next update? What do you mean meshes? I won't be messing with the meshes, so you should be okay if you're using those meshes. Again, I'll probably leave the legacy ones in there and just add new ones in a more organized manner. Because I don't want to break old stuff. So like with these sprites, I'm not going to break the old sprites. I'll leave them in place. This is just a temporary thing for me to try to push as much as I can into the new dungeon area, but some stuff's still going to use the old stuff for the time being. It should be called Dungeon Sprite Python user. Yeah, I think Tesla coil is correct. Like if you are using like some of our stuff internally, I mean, there's like I think as of now we're way more like as of released the last update, we're more conscientious of not breaking mods, but we have in the past had to make breaking changes. The texture painter name. This, because the texture painter corresponds to the texture sheet. So what it does is it looks at the texture used on a tile. So in this case, the texture that is being used is the dungeon textures and has a name dungeon. And then it looks for the 0 index in the dungeon texture sheet, if that makes sense. So let me go back to where I was. Critters, hanging moss. Oh, already did that one. Did that one, did that one. Okay. So I think I left off there. Yeah, so spider web. Okay, so that should do it. Let me just pop into Delver. Let me run through the first area of the dungeon just to make sure that we don't see any GFX errors. Up. What are you over here? You're not a bush, are you? You are a bush. You must be a hard-coded bush. You a bush? I thought I fixed that. I need to take a look at the bush prefabs. Okay, the torch. That also pulls. Yep, so the torches need to be fixed. All these gen info stuff seem to be, the gen infos seem to be doing good. Yep, so the blood decals come from sprites. Again, I won't mess with those. I'll leave them in place. I'm just looking for environmental stuff that should be part of the dungeon theme that is getting messed up. Oh! And oh goodness. And speed. I didn't think they pulled their magic from sprites, but maybe. Maybe, apparently they do. Yeah, so let's fix, right now torches are the big ones. So I think torches are actually defined in a section. Maybe. Let me try torch. Torch. Extends light. Can't remember if they have the actually have a sprite atlas property or not. I guess quickly pop into the editor and take a look. Let me see. Liminate Furier says, "Hey Joshua, I see Linux listed among support platforms on the website, but not on Steam." Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with that. We do support Steam, and I'd have to talk to Chad as to why we don't have a Linux build out there right now. Because the framework we use is cross-plat, so there shouldn't be any reason why we wouldn't have it. Dungeon Sprite. Sure. And then to JSON. Grab this JSON, and yep, that should be fine. Cool. So let's look at our input.dat, and then I guess after the animation end, I'll just pop that in there. Are there any other torches? Okay, save. I'm trying to remember if I don't think section actually has a definition for torches. I think it is just the info. Yeah. Okay, cool. So that should fix that. Let's double check it. I'm erasing my game because when we generate out a level, we serialize all the data up to file. So they would still be pointing at the incorrect sprite sheet. This one probably needs to be manually updated because it's in the start bin file. Yep, that's fine. Yep, so that update went fine. Play here for just another second. Ooh, we've got a greater ice wand. Magic. Give me another shot. No, it's looking like I've grabbed most of the stuff. Cool. Quit. And the bushes are what I needed to investigate. Let me just edit. And where else? The entities.dat. So bush. Sprite Atlas sprite. It should be. Or do they have multiple sprite atlases? Hopefully not. In shift home, Control C. Let's just take a peek at this. Let me clean this up real quick. Trying to clean up the JSON. Missing closing brace. Maybe I didn't need that opening brace. Process. Yeah, it needs to be, always wrap in an object literal and process. Yeah, there we go. Copy, paste. Let's flip this over to JSON. Not that that did much. Sprite Atlas is still Sprite. I thought I fixed that, but maybe I messed that up. Or maybe there's multiple bushes being defined. So Sprite Atlas is dungeon underscore sprite. Let me look for bush. Dungeon sprite. Let me just search the entire project for bush. No regex. Find. It looks like that should do it. We open up the start level. So again, it looks fine here. Play. Cool. Let's launch Delver. Give it a whirl there. Just verifying the outdoor stuff is, I don't know if it matters. Well, I mean, outdoor probably should be separated in something too, or whatever. Maybe I shouldn't worry about that. Leave it as sprite. Quit. So here, entities. Because this is used by the outdoor mod, so let's just leave it as Sprite Atlas Sprite. Cool. Okay, so I think that's a good start there. So let's look at our changes we have pending. That one's okay. Adding that one is okay. Adding that one is good. Let's undo that change. Let's discard those changes. New start. Discard those changes. That would just be messing around. Okay. So yep, let's keep working on splitting this stuff out. So that was pushing the sprites into their own sheet here in Dungeon. We at least should put meshes there. Assets meshes.ping. But again, it's shared with a lot of stuff. So again, textures, Dungeon. I'll probably just look at just the stuff that touches Dungeon and leave everything else alone. This might be a nightmare too. Also, maybe going forward, I'll be redoing a lot of the props too. So let's just have that there for the time being. I think that's okay. I'll leave it until I actually touch the meshes. I'll leave this there as a placeholder. Now let's look at Cave. I assume Cave should probably have its own sprites as well. Let me go. Let's make a copy of Dungeon sprites. It's not open now. Let's just copy texture up Cave sprites. And then let's make a Cave sprites sprite sheet entry. There should be Cave, and this will be Cave sprite. Save. Let's take a quick peek into the Cave theme. And then basically here we need a Sprite Atlas Cave Sprite. And real quick, let's just look at, nope, decorations don't need it. Geninfos do. Okay. Okay, let's save that. Oh yeah, let me, where was it? Yeah, let me reapply this and then check out the caves. So I'm just going to pop down a few levels into Dungeon 1, Dungeon 2. Our ladders are broken, so we need to fix that. Actually, no, we don't, because they're a special case. Yeah, ignore that. Okay, so torch in cave needs to be fixed. Well, that one is fine. This just must be a hand-placed one. And why am I missing a pillar here? Is that correct? I shouldn't be missing that pillar. Let me fix that too. Otherwise, I think things are looking okay. I just had to. Some of these handmade pieces have. Yep. They have hand-placed foliage. They're not prefabs, so they. Yeah. Let me just quickly zip through those. So. Yeah. Dungeoneer. Dash Delve Edit, launch, and let's just look through some of the rooms for caves. Let's do a quick audit there. Open generator, cave. Let's start with starts. Start 1, load. That is broken because it's probably a torch. Text needs to be Cave Sprite. Cool. What else? Probably the same thing here. Yep. Save. I think, yeah, I don't have any hand placed foliage here. I typically try not to place foliage, and just let the generator do its work, unless I'm trying to be sneaky and hide stuff, in which case I do place foliage manually. But as you can see, it is coming back to bite me. So this, if I change this to Cave Sprite, I think it's that. I think it's supposed to be like hanging moss. I think. Let me just delete these. And that should I make it a prefab? Let's go prefab. Yeah, let's not worry about it. This is fine. Again, it's just trying to occlude the view so it looks like it goes back into the distance even though it doesn't really go anywhere. There we go. That's all I'm doing there. Just trying to fake having more detail than there actually is. Save, file, open. Let's look at a third start. Load. Yep, this is a torch. Fix to Cave Sprite. Sure. Save. File, open. 4.bin, load. For some reason, this one is also missing columns, which I don't quite know why. But there you go. It's also missing trims as well. Let me real quickly look at view collision boxes. Yeah, looks like a chunk of that was deleted. Interesting. Not sure why. There we go. Get that fixed up. This should be a torch, so texture, Cave Sprite, torch, cool. hit play, it should. Ooh, it should be. It's using the wrong sprite thing too. It should be down here. So what index is this? 0, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. Is that right? 32, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 32, 39. That seems right. It is not random. Loop. There we go. And then let's kind of just let me ever so gently just nudge it over here next to this pillar. Actually, it may have been meant to be a. This might have been meant to be a large pillar. So it's prefab, architecture meshes, large column. I think that's what this is actually supposed to go there. I'm not sure where they went. Something like that, I think, is supposed to be there. I think this is supposed to kind of just live right there on that front side of the pillar. There we go. And again, I may end up redoing. I'll probably end up redoing some of these props as well. So why does I feel it is a that is not correct. No, Joshua. Is it better there or pull one more? There? I'm just trying to find a good place where it visually should connect. I'll just do it right there. Now let's get rid of the little one. I think it's the right spot. There we go. Cool. Yeah, see, these weren't they weren't designed super well because they don't nicely fit on the grid, or the grid's too small of a scale to actually be nicely workable. So when I redo the props, I'll probably keep them a little bit larger, just so they're easier to work with. Again, if you look at how I've done things in the ruins, that worked out to be a very nice and easily usable set. So play. There we go. We have this thing going on. Okay, that should be fine. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about the other. There's issues there, but I'm not gonna worry too much about it. Just save, move on, file, open. Just do a quick audit of all these rooms, just make sure. Okay. Just make sure I haven't put too much hand-placed foliage. I try not to, but there are certainly instances of it. Load. Yep. See, we have something here. It's a torch. It's a prefab, so that should be okay. I just need to update the torch prefab. I guess, yeah, that should be fine. That should be fine. File open. This is 3, let's open 4. Okay, don't see any of that awesome pink. Let's go to 5, load. Ooh, yep, there we go. Again, I think it's an issue where I'm hiding stuff and being clever. Cool. Let me just take a peek. Yep, that's fine. Save. File. Open 6.bin. Okay. File. Open. Ins 1. Cave ins 1. Load. Yeah, usually the starts and the ends typically have the most detail, except for that one. That one's kind of a blah end. There we go. That one looks fine. Open ends 3. Load. Yep, there we go. Yeah, by holding shift, you can snap things to the XY plane, which can be interesting for, it's good for positioning stuff at the same level. You can hold down Control to snap to grid increments. Ends, halls, 1, load. Yep, there we go. Sprite. Yeah, I think here I had the issue where I had to kind of make sure they kind of roughly line up with the ceiling. By holding down the Alt key, you can quickly duplicate your selection as well. Dang it. Okay, let's get my correct Z level. Escape. And let's just kind of position a couple of these. Okay, that should be fine. Save, file, open, 2, load. Yep. Yeah. Oh man, Joshua, what's this stuff down here? It's acting like, oh, it's on the floor, so it's probably grass. Cave sprite, grass, because it is foliage. Cave sprite, grass. Cave sprite, grass. There we go. This should be cave sprite. There we go. These are at different heights, so I might do it this way because it might ultimately be just a little bit faster than trying to reposition everything again. I don't know. Okay. Save. File. Open. 3. Load. Yeah, there's a few there. Is it the floor or is it the ceiling? Looks like it's the ceiling. There we go. Quick peek if I see any others. I do not. Save. File open. Those are all the halls. Intersections. Load. Nope. File open, load. Yup. Just kind of going through these, cleaning them up. There we go. Save, file, open, intersection starts, try intersections. Fortunately, the caves don't have a lot of room pieces. Load. Cool. File, open, reload. Nice. I think that's it. File, open. Yep, that's it. Cool. So that's all the cave stuff split out. I think that's because those only the two new themes I'm doing are cave and dungeon. So let's just go and commit my changes before I get too carried away. It's already a big change. So I do want to include my sprite sheets. I do want to include the wall textures, all this generator stuff. I do want to include the levels, start level. I updated that. I want to include that. I do not want to include this. Let's discard that. Again, it's only for debug purposes. These are the new sheets that are going into the new themes. So splitting out dungeon and cave into their own themes. Commit and sync. Javier says, the intersection of the vertical elevator, I think there's a UV problem with one of the wood pieces of the elevator landings. Yeah, I think you're correct. Let me take a peek at that. I think I can just do that by updating which mesh it. I think I know what you're talking about. I think file open generator cave. Is it try intersection? One of those load. Might be an intersection. I swear I know what you're talking about, Javier. I'm not a crazy person. Yeah, here we go. Right here. Yep. So there are UV issues. What this is basically meshes. I think it needs to use a different texture sheet. I think it needs to use the one in sewer. I think I added a little, yeah, meshes.ping. I think that's what it needs to be. So it needs to be textures slash sewer slash. There we go. There we go. Now we have the nice little rope stuff. Though this might be a good time to. We should just fix it right. Yeah, we should just. Cave should have their own. Yeah, so let's copy this. Let's paste it into Cave for their own meshes, and Yeah, that'll fix that. So run the editor. File open. Generator. Cave intersections 2. Then now I can just update this to textures / cave / meshes.pane. And then good eye. Delete that because basically all this is just give a little hop over just so you can kind of nicely basically to make it safer so you don't like die when trying to get aboard this platform thing. I can kind of fiddle with this a little bit more too. Make it look a little bit nicer, I think. Who knows? Who knows? Should it actually live up here on top almost? Kind of pull it like that. Pull this up. I can intersect a little bit, I think is fine. Yeah, I think that is totally fine. I don't know. I don't know if these need to be lined up as nice as I want them to be, but whatever. Let's just. There we go. Beautiful. File, save. Nice. Nice. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Hawaii Beach says, this is what we want to see on stream. Cool. All right. Commit and sync. All right, so got the cave and the dungeon themes pretty well separated out into their own respective directories. And actually, you can follow the same kind of pattern when you're making, pardon me, your own themes as well. So dungeon, yeah, I think this is okay. Room also has a theme, but I haven't done much with it. Maybe that also needs some work here in the end. There's also probably some work I need to do prying into the generator, making sure that the room generator uses the new dungeon theme. That shouldn't be so bad. I can actually start doing a little bit of pixel art, I suppose. Let's see how that goes. So, nope. There we go. I still need to figure out a good trim for this stuff to make it look nice. So upper wall, let's make it dungeon. Let's just go ahead and carve that. Let's make the floor that. The ceiling. That floor texture leaves a lot to be desired. I think it's pretty noisy, unless you start like just kind of running through and hitting T to flip stuff. Even still, that needs work. So we hit play. We should apply the texture painter, so we shouldn't just get variety for free, which is good. And considering this has a 10% chance, the whole wall covered in that is pretty darn rare. And then a lot of the times what I do is, let's pull this up some, and then what I do is I have say a lower texture and an upper texture, and I smash them together. we go. So we're going to get some graphics errors here. Let me throw in some torches so you can actually see what's going on. Yeah, so it's choosing. So we're getting nice variety, like when it chooses like different top and bottom textures, which is kind of cool, which is what we want. Like I can kind of quickly do that for the whole thing here. So let's just um, what I did is basically this is a tile with the ceiling and the floor set to the same height. But if you start your selection there, when you hit enter to carve, it will preserve the floor and ceiling heights. So it's just a quick way for me to go through and give this treatment to the entire room without having to manually like pull down the ceiling and pull up the floor over and over. Cool. So nice variety, but the trim texture is going to do a lot of work for us, so I need to make sure that it's good. Hawaii says, you added in natural textures, question mark. Not quite sure what you mean, natural textures. Let me just save this out. 5 save as. Levels, test, call this new dungeon theme.bin. No, they don't. I just what I did is with my cursor is kind of spinning over the floor here. I just randomly hit T, which turns the texture, and that way it's a fixed rotation. It's always going to be the same rotation, but it's just because it's different. Again, it's just a quick way to do variety. Cool. So back to this beast of a lower texture. Okay, so this needs just better. How to make it better? Like again, I think it needs to have variety in terms of shapes and in terms of colors. Go. There we go. I don't think this dark spot is working like I think it's working. Let me. Let me just play around and try to find something that I think looks interesting. Dither brush. I think I had on a dither brush. I mean, just to be cheap, I could. I could just lift stuff from here real quick. I think I tried this last stream and I wasn't super feeling it, but let's just try again. Let's just paste in this gold trim piece right here. See if I can force it to work or something. At least sample it and see what I can come up with. Right there. You know, this gold probably won't be what ends up being there, but again, just trying to find something. Maybe an iron band would work better. I don't know. There we go. Let's switch over to my dither brush and see if this is aligned. It's not, but I can fix it real quick. No dither brush. Roots or wood? No, I'm looking for like a man-made element that would use to be as a color accent for this. But yeah, definitely. I want to keep like the like Delver has a lot of vegetation in it, and a lot of natural feel, and I want to keep that as part of Delver, if that makes sense. I definitely don't want to lose that. Let's try that. See what that looks like. Open level. I call it new dungeon theme or test. New dungeon theme load. I'm not super feeling it, and also I think I have the stuff at the wrong height. Is that what's also going on here? There we go. Okay. That could also be what was kind of going on. Turn off paint adjacent, and I'm just going to go through and really quickly kind of just fix up these. There we go. Getting warmer-ish. The big blocks do help differentiate. The color's not, I'm not feeling that so much. Let's see, try switching it out for the metal palette I have been using in places. Where's a good example of me using the metal somewhere? Meshes? Kind of. Maybe not the bright steel, maybe the dull steel colors. I think, yeah, something like that maybe? Like this. Well, the door is a good example, right? For the textures, cold, meshes up ping. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, something like this could be cool. These big old metal plates. Which one was it? This one? Okay. Let me just chop this up. Play around with some stuff. Yeah, again, Tesla Coil points out a good point. Is this definitely needs? I need to keep in mind this stuff needs to have a nice contrast to it. And right now the grays are pretty darn close in value. Let's shift this way. Yeah, because if I were to throw on to the very top like a hue sat layer or adjustment and then pull the sat all the way down, you can't tell any difference between the two. But we can fix that, right? Yeah. Let's duplicate this and let's play around with some of the colors. So let's take this. Actually, let's make this that color. Then go back here. And then make a selection based on this one for that. Then make it that color. And then go back here and select that. Nope, wrong layer. So select the darker gray, go up here and make it the really dark color. Then maybe I can still pull in like this really light one here, just kind of add just a tiny bit of brightness maybe. Maybe that'll help. It might be too dark though. And is that really all that different? Let me pull that hue saturation layer back up. It is darker. It is certainly darker. Mr. Light 234 says, neat. Someone else that uses Pixel Edit. What do you think of its sprite? I love Pixel Edit actually. I use Pixel Edit primarily for animation purposes, but it makes working with tiled images and sprites very easy, which is appreciated. I've tried using Aseprite and like I just haven't got into it, and I feel really bad because I know it's a good program. I just haven't spent a lot of time in it. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's reading how I want it to read either. Save it, and let's launch the edit. Oh wait, the editor's running. I can hit play. That should pull in the new stuff. Yeah, I'm not feeling it per se. What about? What if I just grab this? If I duplicate it and then I pull the lightness way down. Maybe hue shift it a bit. I'm just trying to find a new range of colors for me to play with, so I have variety. Maybe the greens and blues. I don't know. Let me pull this up a touch. Play the sat on this one. I wonder if I turn the sat all the way down just to pure gray. I don't have a, well, that's kind of where I was though, I suppose. I wasn't a super fan of that. Um, Let me pull the lightness down on that just a little. Let me look at the overall. QSAT, SAT, delete the mask. Yeah, that's definitely in its own little area, its own range now. Yeah, Javier is still into the steel palette. Um, yeah, I'm trying to find something that's different enough from the gray that looks interesting. Um, yeah, I might just play around with this dark gray and see what I can come up with. I think if I remember correctly too, when I started the new ruins area, I think I had a very similar issue trying to find like something I liked. Yeah, it looks like the highlight's off on that one. Let me just pull that around. There we go. I think on some of these gold pieces, I actually added a little bit of depth to them by adding like this, like that. Uh, get my 50% dither brush and just take care of that. I could probably just do another one here. That would probably be okay. Let me go back to my no dither brush. Let me pick out, ooh, wrong color there. Let's do the darker stuff there. Save the bright stuff for the highlight. Let's get rid of the highlight here. Let's add the lower color highlight there, I suppose would be fine. I think this might be how some of the temple stuff is done. Is that right? I think some of the temple blocks are angled that way. I can't remember which ones. Like that one, maybe. Okay. And maybe go back to my dither brush. Lay down the dark dither? Eh, not sure if I like that either. Let's just try, I think on the gold too. The gold just kind of has like just an edge lighting on it, yeah. Because it's metal, so maybe again, just playing around, trying to find something I like. Do the brush. This might be too pattern heavy, but I can always dial it back. I swear I can. I can cut back anytime I want. Okay, so little bolts, maybe? Let's pull those down here. Maybe push them vertically up. Like that. Again, trying not to be too afraid of experimenting and finding new things. Also, I shouldn't be afraid just to redo the whole darn thing if I'm not feeling it either. Okay. Let me make room. Well, let's flatten this. Let's grab this and I'm not necessarily feeling this right here, but I could do the thing here where this is also. Try to add a little bit of dimensionality to it. That may work out. May also want to put in another color in there to kind of make it read better. Let's pull this across here. And pulling these corners out because they are these harsh man-made corners. Statistical, I suggested it would tie into the other elements already in the dungeon level. Yeah, that's not bad either. Typically, wood and stone really aren't mixed a lot unless the stone is like the bottom part and then wood is on top of that. Cool. Thank you for the kind words, Mr. Light 234. Okay. So then if that is above the rock, then this definitely should cast a shadow on these poor bricks. Let's go back to 50% dither. And no dither. Okay, merge that down. Let's save that and see what it looks like now in the editor. It looks interesting. I think I'm liking where this is headed. I think the stone and the iron are cool. Maybe to help offset some of the wood rooms that Testiquel is pointing out. It's also making me wonder if it makes more sense if the iron band is on at the floor level, like if it were reversed. So real quick, let's grab this. Control J. Let's pull that down. Let's hide it. Let's grab this. And let's also duplicate that. Put that up there. Put that there. Let's pull this up here. Let's do something like that right there. I don't think I like it as much, actually. I think I liked it when I was higher. Yeah, and then maybe I can do some more interesting stuff with the rock below, like add like a bit of like some sort of feature, like maybe how big is that? Just copy a chunk here and pull it down here, like it's some sort of like base for this. Make sure this is, how wide is this? Go one more wide. That. So it's 12 wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now I can just offset this thing. You kind of do something similar then. On this side, make sure it really catches the light nice. And okay, that's cool. Okay, let me pull this over to this side. And then also let me, also basically there should be some, what is word? Like almost like global illumination, if that makes sense. So this should be kind of partly obscuring just the sides here. Maybe just adjust that so it looks nice. Whatever. Maybe that'll help push that into the background a little bit. Let me see. Dr. Eagle says maybe it should be decal for combination of the background types, add scratches. What should be decal, Dr. Kegel? I'm not quite sure what you're suggesting there. Could you clarify, please? Actually, I wonder if I just made this whole thing. Let's just push all of this into the background, actually. Let's just make this way more subtle. Um, I'm trying to keep as much of this in the generator as I can. So when decals have to be placed by hand, typically, and that would just mean more work for me. So I'm trying to build a nice set of um, basically textures that I can just let the generator go crazy with, and not have to worry about fiddling with it myself. Okay, save. Let's see what that looks like. I think that's kind of cool. Okay, so this is getting on my nerves. Let's just real quick, let's just grab this and let's just drag these over here. So when the generator pulls from them, we don't get these crazy magenta things anymore. But basically, we still need to kind of riff off of this metal so it can make sense. If that, I also may need to uh, maybe have two different variations. I think on the temple. So I have all four. So I have some big plate a different stone thing underneath, and then a broken version, which is it's nice to have destroyed versions of things. So now when I hit play, there we go. Now I'm wondering if the highlight on the bottom element might be too much. Might need to dial that way back. Let me try something like that. Okay, I did get pushed to the back. I mean, it adds variety. I'm just not sure how well it fits now. Yeah, this middle area is not really not digging it as much. Let me try. These repeated. I don't know why I did that. I just needed the no dither version right here. Maybe? Let me just leave it like so. We merge this down, save it, and then launch with both options in. The variety is not bad, actually. Kind of works. Kind of. Hey, thanks for that bluestone. Yeah, I think it's slowly starting to get there. Slowly. I'm not absolutely hating it. Let me. I guess I can. What does it look like if I just lifted like this texture? Put it here. And then just chop out the bits. Like just like verbatim. I think it might look weird, but that's kind of what I had earlier, I suppose. Yeah, I think trying to add that, let me undo some of that because fix the bricks proper. So let's pull that there. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure if I like it. Is it cool or is it? It's just not feeling it. Not good. Okay. Maybe just add some distressed rock. That's one of my favorite things to do. Is just break all this stuff up really nice. Okay, typically add some highlight to that. Clean that up just a little. I think the sewers are a good example of me doing, well, actually there might be some in the temple as well. Yeah. Typically, I'm adding on the wrong side, it looks like, yeah. So the light should catch on the other side. That feels a little bit better. Yeah, I'm kind of hit or miss on the depth of the lower part. Like on some hands, on one hand it is nice. On the other hand, I think it just looks not super great. So I don't know. I'm still torn. Okay, save, play. Some broken bricks in there, which is cool. Yeah, the depth is nice, even if it's not my favorite. Should probably keep it. Okay. Just kind of breaking up this highlight a little bit. Again, it's probably splitting hairs where people really can't even tell, but I can tell. Nice. Broken, not broken. Yeah, I can play around with like the depth of the lower part over here maybe. 'Cause I thought Let me try. Maybe going all in. Because typically when things get darker and further away, they also typically um, need less detail or should receive less detail. Just really quickly to scribble over this. And go back and fix some of this stuff over here on this side. Okay. So I'm probably going to have to really kind of double up some of my lines here to really make these blocks kind of actually read as blocks now, but that's okay. Maybe it's okay just to have a little bit of a indication. I don't know, let's see what that looks like. Save. Play. Yeah, I think it might be too, like, I think it's not enough detail really. I'm just trying to figure out why the other one bothers me so and how I can fix it, you know? Maybe I should just let it go. Grab something like this. And I'm just going to maybe try to imply like it's the brick is broken off or something. I don't know. Let's see. Man, it's okay. I'm just trying to see it like maybe there's like some sort of veneer on the front, and then it's broken away, and then you can see behind it to the normal stuff. But I'll stop fiddling with it. I think it's okay. I think folks seem to like it. I think I'm inclined to agree with them. Okay. Okay. And I can also add variation in this metal banding as well. Like if here I have the big plate and some different variations on these, how they kind of line up, which I think could be useful. Let me play with my grids. There we go. So we just the tiles now. I almost feel like I should have a grass variant as well, but I'm not 100%. I think the brick behind it here is fine. I guess I can do a damaged version of this tile as well as have the whole thing be damaged. See if that makes sense. Yeah, rusty might not be a bad way to go either. Just trying to make sure these make sense. Try not to get them too crazy. Yeah, the second one might be too much. Maybe try to add more of a total break there. But see how that works, how that feels. Maybe just have this chunk just kind of missing up here. Do the usual dark and not sure if that reads well though. Let's merge that, save that, take a peek. And I think I'm actually over time. I usually try to keep these to roughly around 2 hours, but I've been having a good time trying to get this stuff figured out. I'm making progress, so I've just been kind of happily plunking away. Bluestone says, "Other question: who is the real monster? The actual monsters or the Delver guy?" Yeah, I leave that open to interpretation. You know, um, I think this new dark metal thing is kind of heading in a cool direction. Um, so yeah, so I'm kind of okay with that. I think I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep exploring and see uh, where we end up. But yeah, I think you folks are right. This little gap underneath does add some nice visual options. I guess the only other thing I should check is it's nice if this tiling stuff kind of lines up with the grid. So if I were to lower this, like yeah, it snaps there nicely. It snaps there, okay, so that's good. And maybe I subconsciously made sure that would happen, but it allows you to do interesting things. Let me see, like file. Let me just reopen this because I think new dungeon load. It still has the it has the new stuff in there. I don't know why the picker's wrong, but there we go. So here, if you were to pull this up, like you could use that by itself, which is nice. This also would work as a thing. So it's nice to kind of have these on the grid, so that way the editors kind of, you have these nice little happy accidents. If you could pull that up, and then you could like pull these up. Like these could all kind of like, it would kind of make sense. You can do interesting things with the trims this way as well. So that's kind of planning, kind of had the accident. Try to plan for this stuff to happen, and hopefully you folks can use it in interesting ways. Let me see. Yeah, so I guess before I go out, let me just kind of cover the basics. So hey Twitch, I'm Joshua, or YouTube, wherever you're watching this, whenever. Today's been April 30th. I've been working on my video game Delver. For those of you who don't know, Delver is a fantasy dungeon crawler with roguelike and first-person shooter elements. I didn't mean to run that. I wanted to run the game desktop. We are currently in early access. We've been early access for quite a while. We are 2 people working on this game. We work on it in our free time, so that means evenings and weekends, whenever life permits. I typically handle the art. I'm the art guy. I do 2D, 3D art. I do a lot of the level design. I kind of pitch in wherever is needed, and the same is true of the other developer, Chad. This is the starting area. It serves as a place where you can buy magic stuff, buy normal stuff. I can get arrows, that's good. Stock up on arrows. Will he keep selling me arrows forever? He will sell me arrows until I'm out of gold. Now, yeah, we still need to fix that arrow issue. So right now you have to do this, which isn't great, but it's not the worst. And then you go to, this is the dungeon. It's a procedurally generated dungeon, like I said earlier. So now I enter this floor, it will be new, or it will be generated for me. Our system is we have a series of hand-built rooms that we stitched together for the dungeon level layout. Also, the generator can actually build its own rooms if it so chooses. There's kind of a percentage chance between using yikes, makes me fast, but takes away my defense. No thanks. So the generator can choose between making its own rooms or using the rooms we made. We typically find a mix of the two is nice. So I'm just going to kind of run through here, because I don't really know what to expect. I mean, I have an idea what enemies are going to be here, but not really what the configurations are going to look like. Obviously, when I've seen rooms that I've built, I can kind of like I have an idea what's going on, but like when I hit rooms that the computer built, then it's kind of all bets are off. Got myself a little short bow here. I think we added we kind of redid the bows a few updates ago. So the bow combat is pretty decent now. So I broke my arrows, which is sad. But arrows do have a chance of breaking. You also can recover them from the enemy. Let's see. Trap. So these are on a timer, and there are also some that are set to proximity. So you have to kind of just keep your eye out. And oh man, my arrows keep breaking. So I think there's roughly a 33% chance that any given arrow will break. I feel like I'm rolling really bad. To speed again, to like moving fast. And that was lucky too, because like the potions can be used as area of effect items. So if the trap was just a little bit further out, it would hit that and set it off. But luckily, it did not. Arrows also stick into walls. We can recover them. Drunk Spine Iron Mace. 6 to 8, -3 attack. No thanks. I'm getting some bad loot drops this time around. Again, this one's on a timer. Got my unique. So at the top of the stream when I played, I also got the same unique. Unique should have a roughly a 3% chance to drop, so I might need to take a look at the loot drops just to make sure that is actually the case, because they should be somewhat rare. So I'll have to tweak that, but maybe take a look at that and see if it is behaving how I think it should be behaving. Ah! Back to our short bow. The short bow has the shortest range and the least amount of damage, but it also is the fastest bow. So depending upon how you like to play, we're trying to afford as many options to the player as we can as far as play style. Oh, yeah, forgot about that. Attack. Nice. And let's go ahead and drop Dawn into my belt. Slot 1, so it's easier for me to equip. So the game is still in early access. We are actively developing it. We're trying to release a new update about once every 3 or so months. But again, that just really depends on life, you know, and if we're able to keep on that cadence. Like when I started this project, I was single and I lived in the Midwest, and since then I've moved across the country and I've gotten married and I have a child. So the Joshua who started working on this game and the Joshua who is currently working on this game are in very different places in their lives as far as ability to commit time to it. So we have to be like tactical about like when and where, like what we work on, like how much time I spend on things. So I still want to make things good. I just have to be mindful of. There we go. Got this fire wand, which should probably kill me. I think it's a greater fire wand too. Is that right? Yeah, these things are probably unbalanced because they just do a crap ton of damage and they have a huge radius. So I need to figure out how to balance that out. Yep, we're 2 people. Unique should spawn anywhere, actually. Yes, it is a generated world. Every time you play, it is different. So there's a few dungeon levels, there's an interstitial level, there's caves, etc. And you know we're trying to make sure that every level feels distinct as far as you know like how it looks, how it feels, how it plays, the type of enemies you encounter. Every area should kind of have its own feel. Nice, there we go. Neat. Gotcha. Wands typically are some of the strongest weapons in the game, but they have a limited number of uses, so you have to kind of be careful how you use them. Just kind of slipping through the caves here, trying to find my way. Typically in the caves, at least in the rooms that I've built, I've tried to make it so that if you follow the torches, you'll find your way through. Unfortunately, we use some computer-generated rooms in here, so they don't do that. So it doesn't always hold up. But I've tried to always light the critical path through an area, and then on the non-critical path, I try to put the goodies. So you have to wander a bit in order to find the items here in the caves. I might try to do something similar to that mentality in the new dungeon area, where, like again, the critical path is well lit, and then once you start getting off the beaten path, that's where you find the good stuff, but it's also more dangerous. Okay, Stormwand. Yep, so that is Delver, and I think we had a pretty productive day today. We broke out the dungeon and the caves into their own themes. Their own theme directories, which will be useful going forward, and started working on the new textures for the dungeon, which is cool. It's nice to start seeing some fresh blood into this area, and then you know once I have a decent working texture set, I'll actually start working on making new rooms. and seeing what those will feel like. Cool. Let me think. So I think that's it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your support. If you bought in Delver, that directly financially supports me. Right now, I'm doing contract work. And again, when contract work falls off, I will continue to work on Delver more. I think you can follow me here on Twitch. You can follow me on Twitter at Joshua Skelly to see what I'm up to. You can follow Delver at Delver Game. We have a Facebook page at Delver. It's Delver Game Official on Facebook. Lately on the Facebook page, I've been kind of using that just to kind of show off the community mods. So Delver does support mods, and I've been showing one off every Monday. So tomorrow will be Mod Monday, and I encourage people to download the mod, play it, and leave comments. That's always helpful for the creators. What else? What else? Just thanks everybody. I had a really great Sunday. I look forward to it. I like streaming and talking about development. I will see you in a week. Take care.